Hey, Natsu here. Natsu here. Today I'm going to do part 1 of my What If Deku had an Omega Stone. I completely went wrong with how the power starts. The speed is 300 kilometers an hour that he can go, and the strength is 10 tons. I kind of mixed a bit of the two and reduced the speed to 200, and instead of, well, the strength I increased it, which I wasn't sure. So yeah, strength is 10 tons and speed is 300 kilometers an hour. And so we arrive at UA. Just entering UA, Izuku basically for the written exam, he got 100 since he was studying a lot and is supposed to be 2 grades higher than what he is because of his intelligence. So it wasn't really any problems. Afterward, they went to the assembly where President Mike said about the robots, and Ida just asked for the last robot without saying about Deku because he didn't start muttering. He didn't meet Ochako as well, since he has a lot of confidence, and if he wanted to, he could basically just go to fall on the ground and already be running in a way that no matter how he's placed, he would just be running at an extreme speed. So, when basically they're in front of the door, he doesn't go to talk to Ochako, so Ira doesn't stop him, but Ira and Izuku are next to each other. Izuku saw the um, motors on Ira's leg and said, "Whoa, you must be fast with that." With Ida telling him, well, yeah, basically trying to keep his concentration and not talking that much. Then Izuku says, "Pretty sure I'm faster." Well, good luck, and just kind of goes a bit in front of everyone. Ira being annoyed because the kid just said that. Well, he's in the family of a group of hero. So when President Mike starts counting, he prepares to run as fast as he can. Izuku's just started basically preparing himself to run as well. And then go. Ira boosts in front of Izuku, saying, "Ha, I'm faster." And then Izuku basically not even accelerating, just automatically like that, just going 300 miles an hour and basically destroying a freaking line of robot as if they were nothing, while running faster than Ida, with Ida basically just seeing him and thinking, "Oh damn, he was right, he's faster than me." After a bit, Izuku being able to control plants, rock, dirt, and minerals, which means metal and stuff like that. Basically metals, gems, anything like that. So basically he just kind of makes a lot of them float and bash them to the ground. After doing that, he just kind of jumps on the building and looks down at everyone, telling them, "Well, good luck." and just waiting. What is happening right now is that Izuku is looking at everyone. When someone gets hurt, only the teachers see it, but Izuku points his hand towards them and basically just they start healing, which they get that, oh, he's fast, strong, and he can heal. That's interesting. With All Might seeing that and remembering the kid that he saw 10 months ago and basically thinking he can heal people, his quirk must not be that strong. It would never work on me. Which, the strength that he's using, yes, but if he pushes himself to the max, it could with a small backlash to Deku. But you'll see later. Deku basically only does that for a while. When someone is about to get hurt really bad, he basically just jumps down, breaks the robot, and just jump back away. So he gets a lot of point from that, and from all the robot he already destroyed. Then the 0 point arrives, and he just thinks, okay, yeah, nobody's going there, I don't need to look at this, and then he hears, help. He turns around and sees Ochako, and the first thing he thinks is protect her. Which Emerald is fully okay with, and basically he runs as fast as he could, 300 miles an hour, which he wasn't that far. He was at least like 100 meter at max. So let's see. I'll just be right back to see how fast he's going. Okay, yeah, no, I'm not able to count it, but yeah, he's going fast. Basically, he did the 100 meters in seconds. Like, seriously fast at that point. So, since, well, with the speed he was going, he just passed over Ochako and just kind of turned his fist into metal because it is a mineral and punched as strong as he could straight onto the robot. And basically, with the speed he was going, he kind of pushed the entire robot away. Like, he didn't hit on the leg or whatever you want to call it, but went up and hit the torso, which basically the entire robot fell over backward because the speed he was going at with the metal he was using on his arm was a mix of gold and platinum, which I think is the only combination of that has gold or platinum in it that if you mix it with something else basically makes it a lot stronger. And yeah, he basically made a hole in the robot. Well, not really a hole, more like a massive part of the robot kind of just crushed in on itself and the entire robot fell back. Izuku fell on the ground, went to Ochako, took the rock off, and healed her leg. Everyone was impressed by what they saw. Ida, at the same time, was just kind of acting. Well, he almost insulted someone that had that much power and potential to be a hero, and he just thought maybe he wasn't being cocky, he was just telling me to not be in his way because I would probably be hurt. Which, no, it was just Izuku being cocky for. Because he's not normally cocky, but he did sometimes. He just kind of let go, yeah, I might be stronger than you, or faster, or stuff like that. Without wanting to be mean, just kind of saying, if you think you're fast, I might be faster, or stuff like that. So after he healed her, she said thank you, and everyone left. Later, like in the week, he got the UA letter, which he was told that he was accepted in UA, but that the director, well, Nezu, wanted to talk with him. So he went to UA, and it was only Nezu, because what he wanted to know was what it meant in his documents where it was marked Quirk, the part where it said for now, which Izuku decided to say that the first time he got his quirk, he was basically attacked by mistake by someone who accidentally activated his quirk, and his quirk activated in that moment. And that afterward, over time, he was giving new quirks from time to time when he was training. Nezu asked what he meant, which Izuku said at first he was only fast and strong, and now he's able to do this. Basically lifting his arm and transforming one of them into sand. Well, no, he transformed into sand, made his entire body back, since the stone does affect the clothes, so it doesn't just kind of get destroyed. Well, no, when he is using his powers that kind of change his body, the clothes are actually absorbed in the stones. Actually, Izuku and Emerald made a hero costume already, which basically looks kind of like his original, but with an added hole where Emerald is that can be opened. Normally it's not, and it doesn't even look as if it was openable, but sometimes if he wants to, he can do that, as well as the watch. Whenever he uses his quirk, everything around, well, the watch is basically absorbed in his body. So like if he transforms into metal, he basically first turn his skin into dirt or sand or plants, absorbs the watch inside of him and keep him at a place where it's safe, in a bubble of sand or other matter, while the rest of his body is transformed. When he does not have the watch on him, he can use, well, most of the time when he transforms into anything, well, mostly sand or stuff like that, he can basically absorb practically anything in his body, no matter the size of it. When he does that with plants, it's different. But when he does it for sands, his body basically becomes like Caribou in One Piece. He can take a lot of things in his body, which is made out of mud, but Deku can basically just do that because the way it works is that the stone kind of transform with Izuku's body, and the capacity to absorb object into it basically get passed to the sand, dirt, and stuff like that. So the inside of the sand is actually a lot bigger than the outside, so he could be basically putting himself paper thin almost. Well, a simple full layer on the ground and still have items into him. So that's what I'm going to do to explain why the watch doesn't get basically destroyed every time he uses the powers. If you're hearing music, it's because my grandfather decided to leave his door open while going smoking, and it's bugging me. If you're not hearing anything, well, okay, lucky for you, because it's annoying. So, af- after explaining to Nezu, well, his power, showing him what it can do, and then explaining to him that he keeps getting stronger and getting new quirks, he Nezu said that he was in class 1A, that he got the highest score, and that he is happy to work with him. Because Nezu also saw in, well, Deku also explained that he was supposed to be 2 level higher in school, but decided to go to UA instead as a first year, simply because it wouldn't be fair to anyone else. Which Nezu said, ah, this is good. And Izuku left. That day, well, the first day of school, he entered the class with Ida screaming at Bakugo. When Izuku entered the class, basically everyone in class went to him saying, you got the highest score. Your quirks, what's your quirk? For those that weren't in his city, asking him what he can do, asking him um, how much, how much robot did he destroy, and how did he help a lot of people. With Izuku saying that his quirks are powerful, but that it mustn't be that bad, and that for most of the thing that he helped people with was mostly healing, which Bakugo knows at this point. Um, okay, so after explaining his quirks to the class with Bakugo basically saying, yeah, and you're going to get more later, I presume, which everyone asks what he means by that. And Bakugo says that his quirk was activated extremely late, and that when he got it, all he had was strength and speed, and that it increased a lot, firstly, and that secondly, he gained more quirks over time and might continue getting more and more. Bakugo doesn't know about the stone. Um, all he knows is that Izuku, well, he also said that Izuku already had his hero costume, which he said that the moment Aizawa entered the class, and Aizawa said, huh, so you already have your costume. Interesting. With everyone basically freaking out, then him saying it took 8 seconds for all of you to shut up. Go sit down, except for you. He went up in front of the class and then asked they could show them his costume, because he was intrigued that he already had it. Then Izuku basically just thought costume, and there was just a flash of light, and his costume was on while his clothes weren't. With, as I was saying, so, how do you do it? I thought your quirk was strength, speed, and healing. Which Izuku, sorry if I started speaking a lot, well, louder. Like I was saying, um, Aizawa asked him what his quirk was, and he basically just said that he was actually going to get more probably if he keeps training. Then Aizawa said, "Well, no matter. All of I want to do a test. So go put your sports uniform and meet me in the yard." Then basically he just left, and everyone kind of was like, "Okay," but then Ochako just kind of said, but wait, don't we have something to do today?" With Izuku saying, "Yeah, well, I think we're not going to do it. He is a teacher after all." So they all go. When they're changing, um, the boys basically see that Izuku has a lot of muscle definition. Um, he has some bruises. Well, they think are bruises, but basically he just says, "Oh no, no." They basically see the bomb where Emerald is, and they ask what that is, and he basically just says that he has that since a while. It doesn't really matter. Then they asked about the watch, which Bakugo says, "Oh, that's something he bought because it's extreme to keep something extremely precious to him. I've never even saw him take it off since he has it." Which everyone's like, "Whoa." Then everyone basically goes outside. Izuku looks around. Basically, in class, he basically listened to what everyone was saying, as well as what Emerald was saying, because Emerald was talking to him, saying that in the class there were at least 4 people that could take one of the stones. Well, and 3 that could take the other, but didn't say for which stones the numbers were. All Izuku knew was that uh, um, 7 people at max could take one of the stones, 4 at the minimum, because if someone could be able to take 2 of them, which not really. Um, the people that have the capacity to take one of the stones is Bakugo, Shoto, Tokoyami, Tsuyu, Ochako, Momo, and Jiro. Those are the people that could get stones. I'm not saying who is going to get what, or even if they're going to get one, but I can tell you that one of them is going to get a stone. Choose, well, try to guess who it is. I don't really care. If you're able to find it, well, wow. I know it's not a lot of choices, but still. So, once they were outside, um, Aizawa decided to ask Bakugo and not Izuku to throw the ball because Bakugo's quirk was more flashy and could basically grab attention of everyone while using it, and told him to throw it. This Bakugo is just a small amount stronger than in the anime, simply because he trained a bit with Deku, but afterward went back to doing whatever he was doing previously, since he was training. Just not, well, not as much as what he did with Deku, which he basically only did that for like a day or two. Which is where he learned that Deku could heal. So he threw the ball like about 100 more meters, simply because his training alone was a bit tougher. He was a bit tougher on himself. Afterward, every other things basically. Long jump, Izuku grabbed a stone out of the ground and was flying with it. Um, Grip test, he basically crushed the thing since he can lift easily 10 tons, and his grip strength could very easily grab a pole of metal that is filled with metal and start crushing it. He could do that, so a grip machine is nothing compared to him. Then the side to side jumps was, well, his weakest, for good reasons. He was fast, but he didn't get as much as Mineta. Well, no, the only reason he didn't get as much as Mineta was because Mineta was just bouncing himself from side to side, while Deku was really jumping. Um, when they went for the 10-meter dash or something like that, Izuku basically is able to start running at his max in about, well, almost instantly. So he only had the only time he had on it was 0.452, basically the time that he accelerated, because it takes him a second to accelerate to his max speed, so he can go fast. And then the ball throw. What he decided to do was different from what most people would think, and what he did was just kind of put dirt around around the ball, threw it in the air, and basically made pushed the earth away as far as he could. And the distance that he can control the earth is over 2 or 3 kilometers. So after a certain point, he basically made the dirt just kind of throw the ball again. So he passed almost the full. He passed around three 3,500 meters in total. A bit over that, but still, everyone was freaking impressed because what types of string did he was that, and at the same time he used the dirt just to kind of push it away as a lot further. Aizawa did say the same condition about expelling someone, which he didn't in the end. Izuku was at the top, easily. Afterward, it was the same rankings. And All Might was looking at Izuku thinking that it he would be a good candidate for the Quirk. I have to check something. Yeah, so All Might is looking at Izuku and thinking that he would be a great candidate for the Quirk. He is still reserved on giving it to him because he still has One for All in him. He didn't give it to anyone else yet, but decided that he wanted to tell Deku and ask him if he wanted the Quirk. Which the moment when is later, just before after school ended, he was asked if he could come in the principal's office to meet Nezu. He went there, said hello to Nezu, saw All Might, and then All Might asked him what was his goal, which Izuku said to be the best hero as well as someone that can heal people. Which All Might decided to tell him, okay, so can you try and do something about this? Showing the injury, which Izuku basically looked at him and said, what the hell happened to you? Which Emerald basically started looking at All Might and told Izuku that, exactly the damage that he had, and said to Izuku that if he was to heal All Might, he will probably lose his form and become a stone for about an hour or so. Or if he is able to, or just enough strength left to stay conscious and not go into stone, which before doing the healing, Izuku asked, is there something else as well? Because I might not be able to do anything after trying to heal that for about an hour or so. All Might then said, well, yes, there is. Then he explains One for All, tells him that he would like to pass it to him, and Izuku said, no, pass it to someone else. Which both Nezu and All Might were like, wait, what? Then Izuku said that in class there were two people that he saw that would be great for it. Bakugo, which is someone that he was at his old school with. He was a bit of a bully, but yeah, he was just being an adolescent. That was dumb. Now he's not like that anymore. And the other one is the kid called Shoto. Then All Might asked him, if you were to choose between the two of them, to which one would you give a quirk? Which Izuku said, Bakugo. I know him a lot more, and I was with him at school before, so I know him. Then All Might said, so I'm going to give my quirk to him. Which Izuku said, yeah, probably try to give it to him later. Today he is waiting for me down in front of the school. Then All Might asked him, okay, so for the healing, which Izuku said, I'm going to have to tell you about something. then takes his shirt off, and then kind of the skin over Emerald just kind of takes off and shows Emerald, which Izuku says, if I do that, my entire body will transform into energy and go into the stone for around an hour or so. So, uh, if it is possible, can Bakugo is the only one that knows that I can do that. So can you give him your quirk before I heal you, and then let me heal you so that he can bring me back with him, which All Might accepted. They called Bakugo. Bakugo arrived. They explained what was going to happen. First, the one for all. Then that Deku was going to heal All Might and lose all of his energy. Which Bakugo said, so you want me to bring you back with me? Which Izuku says, well, yeah. Basically, he takes off his watch and says, and asks Nezu if there's a place that he can place it in the school where tomorrow he's going to be able to grab it back, where nobody's going to be able to touch it. When Nezu asks why, Bakugo says, because it's freaking precious to him. That thing weighs 2 tons, so you can know how serious it is about it. Which, yes, I'm keeping 2 tons because he is still able to lift that. Since, like I said, it's not 300 ton, it was only 10 tons. I mixed the speed at which he was capable of running. Sorry for that. So, Nezu basically showed him, let's say, um, a safe, and told him to put it there, and that tomorrow he's going to be able to come get it back before class. He places it there, and yeah, and then All Might gives Bakugo his hair. Then Izuku starts healing All Might, which, when I say healing, there's basically a large amount of energy basically coming coming off of Deku and going into All Might. And All Might is hurt because his entire body is basically healing to an extreme point, which, when Deku is finished, All Might doesn't have his scar or any problem left, but turns back into a stone. Bakugo grabs it, says that tomorrow, let's hope he's okay. He starts going back. Ochako and Ida ask where Izuku was, which Bakugo said that he's going to leave later and that he told him to tell them to go before him because he's going to have to stay a bit for about an hour or so. Which he just told them that for them to leave, which they did. When he was going back home, he decided to walk a big part of the way to make it longer than an hour. Basically, he called his mom and Inko. To Inko, he basically told her that Izuku was to the bedroom and that he's calling her to basically tell her that they're going to be late. So when Izuku finally reforms, it's a lot later. He has his clothes on. Bakugo gave him his bag and told him that he's happy that Izuku didn't get greedy. And then Izuku told Bakugo, yeah, well, I was hoping that you would act a bit less, how do you say, pretentious about your entire life before that, and when you decided to change, you were basically good. So when All Might told me about One for All, I just thought, yeah, you would be perfect for it. So All Might is healed. He can go at his max strength without limit, and Bakugo will have One for All the next day. So yeah, this was part 1 of my What If Deku had an Omega Stone. I really hope you liked it. Um, like I said, try and find who is going to get one of the stones. If you're able to guess who are going to get the stones, I'm going to tell you that you did it. And yeah, so hope you liked it. I had fun. Leave a like if you want to. Not to. Out.